Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. This is going to be a faceless video today, and I hope the audio is okay. I hope you guys can't hear everything that's going on outside, but I wanted to talk about this topic of Black benevolence and self-care, self-awareness in relation to the topic of Amanda Seales and Shannon Sharpe. Their interview has taken the internet by storm. Everyone is talking about it, and I, of course, have an opinion too. So if you don't know, Amanda Seales is an actress, TV personality. She's a singer. She's multi-talented, and she is a Black actress. She was in the show Insecure, and she has been in the media for quite a while as combative, as someone who's difficult to work with, and someone who struggles with getting along with her peers. And she has said that this is because Black media piles on and blows things out of proportion, while Black media says that Amanda Seales is difficult to work with, and that's why there's so much media and stories and controversies around her. Before I go any further, I want to say this. Amanda Seales reminds me of myself when I was younger. When I was younger, I had a lot of negative experiences with adults, with authority figures, with my family, with other women, other kids, and I always felt backed into a corner, and I constantly felt the need to defend myself. And until I learned how to regulate my own nervous system and to learn which situations were appropriate and which were not, I was always coming in combative. And I want to be careful because this word combative is often weaponized against Black women in the workplace and in relationships because people automatically see us as a threat. And I want to make sure that I don't do that with Amanda because I don't think that that's her intention. Amanda believes that Hollywood, Black media has blackballed her because she's too strong of a Black woman and people do not like authentic, tell it like it is Black women. And this is interesting because it's true. If you look around, the women in Hollywood who are Black women in Hollywood who are making it big, they're not outspoken in the same way that Amanda is. When they speak on racism or colorism or pay disparity, they do it in a demure way. They play the game, and Amanda tells us that she's simply not here for it. And I get it. This is where the term of Black benevolence comes in, and I want to talk about in two instances. On the one instance, it's this expectation that Black people will give every other race of person grace in the same way that other people are not required to give us. Now, I personally have a certain level of demeanor, respect, grace that I give to everyone regardless of race. And then there are people in my life who get extra amounts of grace. But in Hollywood and even in the corporate America, you can see that there is this expectation that Black women will only present a certain way. And on the one hand, it's problematic, but on the other hand, that's how the world works. And so Amanda is not wrong in what she's saying. Amanda is often very right, and she's very wise, she's very intelligent. But what I see with Amanda is that she often expresses herself in a way that is not just off-putting to white people, it's off-putting to people in general. And this doesn't make her a bad person. This makes her someone who hasn't yet figured out how to communicate her hurt and to communicate her wounding in a way that people can receive it. And here's the thing. She doesn't have to. She actually doesn't have to change. And this is Amanda's point. Amanda's point is you guys want me to soften up and water down my pain so that it's more palatable to you guys. And again, you guys, in a lot of ways, she is correct. However, we have to acknowledge that a lot of society is not interested in being lambasted and ridiculed, even if it is another Black person. They're not interested in being spoken to in the way that Amanda has spoken to other people. And this is where I struggle with Amanda. I want her to feel like she can express herself authentically. What I struggle with is her authentic seems to be it is aggressive. It is loaded with vitriol and it's loaded with pain. And so it makes it hard to stomach if you are not in the right headspace to receive it. Now, Amanda recently revealed that she has been self-diagnosed, and online tests have diagnosed her as being on the autism spectrum and is having ADHD. And with this comes a hyper focus and hyper obsession on things. For Amanda, that is race, that is politics, that is blackness in the workplace, and it is evident in everything that she talks about. Now, this is not inherently a bad thing. I think we should all have an Amanda on our team. However, Amanda struggles with learning when to turn that off in relationships, in conversations, in any area. And she may argue that, hey, I shouldn't have to turn it off. I'm Black. This is my experience. But even Black people at some point have to turn it off and relax. And I simply think it's hard for Amanda, with the way that her brain is wired, for her to do that without feeling like someone is telling her to get rid of a piece of her personality, a piece of her authentic self. Now, here's a question that is going to probably get me into a lot of trouble, but this is my question. Is Amanda behaving from her wounding, or is she behaving as her authentic self? And that's a genuine question that I have, because I am concerned that Amanda seems to believe that this is her personality and that she is stuck this way, and that there is nothing wrong with the way that she interacts with people, not realizing that in Hollywood, in the workplace, unfortunately, there is a way that you have to conduct yourself if you want a job. Now, does she have to work this way? No. And I don't think that the issue is that Amanda is expressing the disdain, some of the complaints, some of the disappointment she has with the industry. The issue is the way in which she does it and the pervasiveness in which she does it. Amanda is like a hammer with everything she does. And again, I love that for her when it's in the right setting. But oftentimes the workplace is not the right setting. And this is where I want to talk about self-awareness. In the interview with Shannon Sharp, Amanda states that she is so self-aware. And I believe that she is self-aware to the point where she knows that she is abrasive to some people. She knows that she is hard to stomach to some people. And what she's telling us is, I'm not willing to change because I want people to accept me for who I am in the industry and allow me to communicate this way in the industry and still pay me what I'm worth and still listen to my concerns. And unfortunately, that is not working for her. And it doesn't work in corporate America or in any other setting either. If you're running a company and your response to people is immediately level 10, in a lot of cases, that's how Amanda is. People just simply don't have the stomach for that, you guys. They simply don't have the ability to take that all the time. Amanda said that she was on the autism spectrum, and so it makes sense that she would not be able to understand the social cues that are needed in order to temper it down. And again, her dedication to Black women's liberation and Black people's equality often blinds her from seeing that she could get her point across if she tempered down, but that's exactly what she's not willing to do. Now, my presumption is that she is like, okay, I'm not going to change. This is who I am. And you guys will have to deal with me. And I will keep complaining, not realizing that if she wants a job, this is going to have to stop. She will have to create her own media. So here's my question for you guys. And then I want to talk about how I fixed myself from being on the defense and being combative and always having to point out injustices in the workplace, and how I just learned how to navigate spaces without compromising what I thought was a core piece of my personality. So here's my question. Should Amanda Seales simply learn how to deal with what she feels is a constant degradation of her character and a undermining of her skill and talent? Or should she continue behaving in the way that she's behaving? I don't think she's wrong. Like, this is where I'm telling you guys I'm struggling, because she is very experiencing what a lot of Black women experience, but she's not getting the outcome she desires. And my personal opinion is that if you're not getting the outcome you desire, then perhaps you change what you're doing to get the outcome you desire. But if that change means that you are not acting Black or you're not being Black enough, then you don't get to complain about the change, I guess. So I don't know. I want to know what you guys think about that, because I'm curious. You're welcome to disagree with me. You're just not welcome to be disrespectful, because it is a genuine conversation that has to be had. And because, as I said, Black women are often expected to behave in a way that is very palatable for other people. And where I think the line is often blurred is what is tempering down my personality versus just simply respect. Like, does respect always mean that I'm not being Black because Black is sort of this like loud, braggadocious, abrasive way of speaking? Or is it, okay, Amanda Seales can probably just demonstrate a tad bit more respect? Or is it because no one's hearing her, she has to come out and say it in this way because, you know, no one else will listen unless she says it in this way? There's just so many questions I have. And as I said before, you guys, you know, Amanda's personality is not something that I would want to be around all the time. Like, she seems like the kind of person where I would be wanting to just chill out, and she would be, you know, going on and on about the injustices of the world. Almost like when I was teaching, you guys know that I used to be a teacher, and when I had students who were on the spectrum, I had one student in particular who just wanted to talk about washing machines all day. And like, baby, I don't want to hear about your washing machine. But I would listen to him talk about washing machines because that was what he was fixated on. And if she is indeed on the spectrum, that may be one of the things that she is hyper fixated on. And it's just challenging for her to kind of come off of that track. So I want to give her the grace in that regard. Now, let's talk about my own journey with self-awareness and just learning how to figure out what was my real personality versus what was my wounded personality. So as I told you guys before in this video, I had a very difficult, emotionally difficult childhood. A lot of my emotions were repressed and they were invalidated. And, you know, there was a lot of just interactions with teachers and things that made me feel undesired, not even unintelligent, just unworthy, right? And when you feel that way, which I feel like Amanda Seales feels, you are constantly on your back foot trying to make sure that you're letting everybody know that you're intelligent and letting everybody know how much you know. And I've studied this and I've studied that. And I was in that place for a long time. And what my therapist and I talked about was that I was very reactive. And I wasn't really living in peace in that moment. So I would go into a situation and I couldn't just be in the situation. And some of that is being a Black woman. And you do have this hypervigilance because, I mean, microaggressions are real. People undermining you is real. People taking digs at you is real. And so there is this level of heightened awareness that you have to have when you're in situations. I guess some people could say you don't have to have it, but I'm being honest, y'all. Like, people are, you know, they're a little racisty. So for me, when I was talking to my therapist, it was about, okay, you're going into this situation and your cortisol is like through the roof and you are fighting demons that don't exist yet. And that is not a healthy way to begin a conversation with anybody. So we began to talk about this idea of just giving everybody the benefit of the doubt. If they prove themselves to be, you know, someone who you need to defend yourself against, then defend yourself against them. But give them the benefit of the doubt. Just in the same way I wouldn't want someone judging me, I can't judge other people and assume that they are going to come in with this, you know, this level of condescension that I didn't like. And I feel like that's what Amanda does, is that every situation she goes into, she's got guns a-blazing. And I can understand that, as I said, because it took me years and even now I have to check myself to be like, okay, am I coming into the situation with my defenses up and feeling like I need to defend myself? Or am I coming in here and I'm just like letting the situation exist? What really helped is the idea that I don't need to prove myself to anyone. And I know this is really hard, especially for Black women, because a lot of us grew up, I'm 35, so a lot of us grew up with this idea that like we need to prove ourselves to people and we need to make sure that everyone knows that we're qualified and capable and prove that we're not like these other Black people. And that puts you in a weird position as a Black person, as you're constantly like, again, fighting this invisible demon. And so for me, having to say, I don't have to prove myself to anyone but me was beneficial. And I can see how this is hard for Amanda, because it's not like she runs her own business, but she's in Hollywood. So she does need to be validated by her peers in order to continue to receive, the gigs that she wants, the job that she wants, the acting that she like. And so it's a little bit different for her. But what's interesting is that Amanda is doing this self-fulfilling prophecy that I used to do, which is I'd be like, oh, people don't like me. People think I'm not smart enough for them, or people think I'm not worthy. And so I would go in with this personality that was like, again, shooting from the hip immediately when I met people. And then they would be turned off by that. And then I would be like, see, I told you, so it's kind of like this self-fulfilling prophecy that you have to work and weasel your way out of in order to find your true authentic self. So I want to go back to acting from my wounds. So my baseline nervous system was, okay, I am wounded, people are attacking me. My baseline for my nervous system was not, I am safe. And I feel like that's the situation with Amanda. And the tricky part about Amanda is that she's right. Like, that is why this is so hard to pinpoint. And this is why she is so polarizing, because she is right. But at the same time, she is still acting from her wounds. And so I want to know what her personality is when she doesn't feel threatened. And that was what my therapist talked to me about. Like, who are you when you don't feel like you have to fight? Get to that person, find out who she is, and that's who your authentic self is. And this was really eye-opening for me. I was like, whoa, So you guys, I just wanted to come on here and talk about this a little bit. I'm so sorry that it is not, there's no video. I'll just put some screenshots, I guess, of like Amanda and Shannon Sharp, and you guys should go listen to that interview. I don't want to get copyright striked anyway for having their video up, but if you guys have any thoughts, please share them. Again, you are more than welcome to disagree. You just can't be disrespectful. And if the audio is bad, I'm really sorry, but I was like, I gotta get this out. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Please like this video or dislike this video. It doesn't really matter. You guys get this video up in the algorithm anyway, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.